Hi, guys. Welcome to the Lone Star Play podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong, and we have another great episode on lockdown today. We are going to be talking to a musician, Natalie Price. She's a local Austin musician, and she has been affected by the virus, obviously. Can't play shows, probably doing live streaming stuff. We'll get into that with her and how it's affecting the music industry here in Austin and just Texas in general, and I guess in general. As an industry, and really excited about it. So, but before we start, I got another tip for you real quick. Something I've been doing at the house to keep my hands clean during this quarantine and everything is just thought I'd pass it along. Yeah, I've been using rubbing alcohol instead of hand sanitizer because I can't get any hand sanitizer. And I just happen to have a bunch of rubbing alcohol at the house. But what I've been doing is put some rosemary in with the rubbing alcohol. And just kind of gives another scent too, helps, maybe not make it as bad because you're just smelling it all the time. So anyway, that helped me, scented alcohol. Anyway, so any fresh herb, I guess you can throw it in there, but rosemary really seemed to work well. Yes. So look, let's get this started. I'm going to call Natalie. We're going to get her on the phone and just let's have a talk about the virus and how it's affecting her. All right.
Hello, this is Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. It's Patrick.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Just trying to enjoy another day on lockdown.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you didn't check the news yet today, probably, right?
No. What happened?
No, nothing. I don't know. Nothing. I haven't really been looking at it either. I took your advice of not. Maybe looking at it so much in the mornings.
Yeah. Well, I was like, oh, shoot, is something happening I need to know about?
No, nothing. Nothing's going on. But just kind of, just kind of getting away from things for a little bit,
Yeah, it's been kind of nice. Except, like, if I miss an important announcement from my family or something.
Sure, of course.
But my notifications, like, actually click on things. But
well, no problem. So okay. So let's talk about this virus here a little bit. Obviously, it's affecting you. And first of all, just thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Just curious how this virus has affected your music. Obviously, you can't play live shows, right? So, you had a bunch of shows get canceled. I guess just talk to us about that. Like, what's going on with that?
Well, it was actually kind of a weird season for me. I didn't have as many shows in January and February. It was kind of a weird slump, and it ended up being okay because I've been in the middle of a move, so I moved to a new house, and I didn't realize how much that would take out of me too. And all of my shows were starting to ramp up with South by.
Yeah.
And so I had some festivals lined up for May, and most of my things were kind of planning more things out of town and some house shows and things. And so, of course, I'm just assuming they're all canceled.
Yeah.
And rightly so,
Sure.
like I want, I don't want to contribute to putting on an event where people are going to get sick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's kind of a weird, like, I could be really mad about it, I guess, but, like, I'm not mad. Like, I can't be mad about it. Like, first of all, it's not personal. Like, it's happened to everybody.
Sure.
And it is imperative that we come together and we do all that we can to, like, get through this. And so it's disappointing, but, like, what am I going to do? Like, go play a show, like, do it anyways? Like, I don't know, like, what, it's a really weird, like, unprecedented for our generation. Like, we haven't lived through this, and in the new context of our new technology, it just is like, it's unprecedented. No one knows what to do, and we're just trying to do it the best we can together.
Yeah, you're right. It's completely unprecedented. I think for any generation, at this point, and you're right. Are there any things? Are you trying to do any like live stream shows or do anything like that? I see a lot of artists, doing live streams or just playing a song? I don't know. I mean, is that even something worth doing, or?
I go back and forth on it. I kind of just laid low that first week.
Yeah.
When everything got canceled and everybody moved to live stream.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see how clogged the network would be with everyone live streaming.
Sure.
And I decided, you know what, everybody's doing it. I think I'm going to lay low or not.
Yeah.
And because even for myself, a person who arguably loves music and I write music and it's so much of my life, I'm already over all the live streaming. Like, I don't want to, I have to, and I don't mean it in a negative way. I have to be very careful how much of that I take in, because then I'm not really engaged, because it's more of the same to me. And so, and you're limited in the quality. And so there are, like, I've selectively tuned into a couple of people. And I've just tried to pay attention to my mood and my attitude. And, like, if I feel tired or exhausted in the middle of that, like, I let myself exit out and just, breathe or do something else, or walk outside to the patio or something. Yeah. But I haven't actually done a concert. Well, the very last show that I played out in public was on March 14th, maybe.
Oh, and wow.
That was like Saturday before South by.
Yeah.
It was, I guess, supposed to be, or I guess it was the interactive weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a very small venue, and I knew that there wouldn't be anyone there. And I told people in my post not to come. I just said,
is that the first time you've ever done that? Played a live show and told people not to come, right?
Yeah,
it's so like
right. Yeah, and I told people, like, I'm gonna live stream it. And so that's the only show I've live streamed, is from a stage in downtown Austin. So and I felt like that went really well, and I feel like that was kind of a cool way to live stream, is if you're on an actual stage with the sound is balanced in the room. So I have been going live every night at 10 p.m. And I'll bring an artist friend or just another creative person in with me, and I'll just do like a mini interview with them and play a game, like a random question game, for just 20 minutes. And then we're in, we're out, we're done.
You're done.
And we don't talk about Corona. And I feel like that's been really helpful for me, because it's a video live stream. Yeah. So, like, I personally have to get dressed every day and put on makeup and make my bed, because my bed's in the background.
That's funny.
It's been a good, like, kind of accountability and consistency thing for me.
Sure.
To make a commitment to do one thing every day. And it's been fun because it's kind of like a public FaceTime in a way, where I'm just like kind of catching up with a friend for 20 minutes. And that's actually been really fun. So that's like, I don't have any desire to do a live stream. That's taking my focus. And I personally, like, so right now I personally have I have a couple different jobs. One of them I've been furloughed. But another one I'm able to work remotely. And so, and so I don't actually have as much free time because I've been doing that. And so I'm able to make rent. Yeah. And so part of me is also like, you know what, I'm going to let artists who don't have any other way of making income right now, I'm going to let them do their live streams. Like, I don't need to.
It's very kind of you. Pull away from them. Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't want to add to the noise, like, if someone else, if they're relying on that for their income, like, I
know exactly what you're saying. I'm doing the same thing. I'm not putting out any, even though I got hit hard, I can still get my bills barely paid. At least I get them paid. So I'm definitely not going to get free meals or going to get anything like that. Just want everything to go to exactly like you said, to the people who really, really need it. There's definitely people right now who are in need of help. So for sure. That's great of you. Honestly, that's a good explanation. And honestly, that's really good advice as well, as far as just like, having at least one thing that you're going to do that day, and get up. And like you said, you get up, you get dressed, you're making the bed, you're maybe having some breakfast or making a meal. That's another thing. Get in the kitchen, cook something. Don't let everything be frozen or order everything in. We definitely need to support restaurants and whatnot, but definitely important to be, cooking at home and taking care of yourself during this time. Very easy to let yourself go. And part of this virus is the immune system. So eating correctly, having a good mental state is absolutely crucial to all of that. So I think that's all good advice.
I haven't really found a good exercise program, virtual one yet. Do you have any you recommend? Have you found one?
I mean, I just do my own thing. Yeah. I have my 2 dogs, so we go for walks. We go for long walks, and they're a handful. So that's pretty much my physical thing right now. I used to climb before all of this pandemic, so I do miss that a lot. I'm not going to lie. I did have to supplement the stress that I got out from doing that as well. It wasn't just a physical thing. It was a mental, relief as well. But yeah, just, taking the dogs, going for a walk. I don't know, Google, there's got to be something on YouTube or something. I don't really do workouts like that, like watch a video, and I'm not really familiar with that sort of thing, so, but there's got to be something, something out there, some yoga. I don't know. I've never even done yoga. I haven't quite found my thing yet, but I have looked up a few things, so we'll see what happens. Right on.
Which ones I land on.
Yeah, there you go. Just try it a few. That's that'll be the point here. You can try out a few different trainers or whatever. I don't even know how it works. I guess you follow a particular person and then you follow the routine. I'm not sure. What about as far as food goes? Are you trying to eat, a little bit better? You're just going with the same thing you had, or resources tight, so you're having to make those adjustments too, which I understand.
It's been weird. So I do have a couple of roommates, and we've been sharing groceries, and so we've been going to the grocery store about once a week or so.
Yeah. That's good.
And it's weird. Well, it's also weird to be scared to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, right.
And to wipe everything down when you come home. It's just kind of that's what's nerve-wracking. The whole thing is, the most nerve-wracking thing, which I think probably everybody feels, is that it's an invisible enemy, and you don't present symptoms for up to 14 days. And so you don't know if you even have it, until it's too late, basically.
Sure.
And so it's things that you didn't think twice about before, picking up a can off an aisle in a grocery store, I don't know. It's just weird to wipe everything down at the end of the day or whenever you get home. But
you're right.
I've been craving more salads, which I guess is a really good thing. And I don't necessarily always say that, but right before all this hit, I was going home to visit my family in Dallas and to play a couple shows up in Dallas last month. And my parents are kind of on a modified keto or a Whole30, somewhere in between those things.
Yeah.
And so they have a really big varied salad at lunch, and it's just chock full of so many delicious things. I was like, I can do this.
Absolutely.
This actually sounds desirable to me, and so that's what I've been trying to do.
Sounds fresh and healthy, and in this moment, right in time, that is the best sounding thing. I think people should just do at least one good meal a day for yourself.
Yeah.
If you can just do that, I think you'll be okay. But I also understand, income restrictions and just availability of certain things, and just like you said, you have to go there. It can be difficult, what you're getting and what you're touching and whatnot. Plus, just if you want to do delivery, that can take a long time. So if you can at least just do one good meal a day for yourself that's nice and healthy, I think people can get by, because the delivery thing is definitely backing up considerably at this point, from what I've heard. 8 to 14 days in some cases, which is just crazy. to wait that long for food.
There probably, if anyone's looking for a job, they're probably hiring people to help fill those orders too at grocery stores. So
they're trying. Yeah, they need more drivers and those sorts of things. Like you said. And there's a lot of other people doing, like other companies that are trying to pop in there and help out with this.
Yeah, I think it's been really interesting to see. I just read an article. Maybe it's all, all the days run together. So sometime in the last 48 hours, probably. I read this article and I was really encouraged. I think I took a screenshot. I'm looking it up really quick. It looks like, who was this? Probably CNN.
Yeah.
Large corporations are stepping up to see the supply gap. So like New Balance announced on Friday on Twitter that its U.S. factories will work on developing, manufacturing, and delivering facial masks to hospitals.
Oh, wow.
And then Delta Airlines announced that it will fly medical professionals for free to areas significantly impacted by coronavirus. So that's really cool.
That is awesome.
So that's like what I'm encouraged to see is that bigger companies that actually have
the resources,
factories,
right? Yeah,
they're stepping in to actually meet some needs where maybe there's some dysfunction in this organization with the like admin in place. Politically, like people, I feel like this is a time for the people to step up and take care of us, like all of us.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of been wondering actually, the only thing that I have found to do that I feel like is helping myself mentally and potentially helping other people is this live stream being at 10 every night. Because it gets my mind off it and everyone else is watching their mind off of it.
Sure.
But
absolutely.
like there's a question in the back of my mind, like I have a sewing machine in the top of my closet. Like, is there something else that I should be doing? Like, is there something else I could be doing? And I haven't seen much talk about that yet. Like when we've had, we've been in war, in previous generations, like people come together and plant gardens and they, forego rubber and, for the sake of the greater good or whatever. And I'm like, I wonder if there are things that we could be doing as individuals that would be helpful,
I think that's it. So, I think what you're doing, is part of it. You got to start with yourself, take care of yourself first, and then start. It's a local help. I think more than trying to help somebody halfway across the world, just look out for your neighbor and community. The tighter we keep the circle of help, and if everybody does it, we'll be good to go. Just community help, being there for somebody if they need it. I think, just doing the little, the live stream thing that you do at the end of the night. Yeah. Like you said, it takes people's mind off it. I do that every day. I definitely take my mind off of things for a little while and just disconnect from everything for a little bit, because it's overwhelming if you get on the news or get on social media or get on anything public. It's all that it's about right now. So absolutely. I think that's important. Are there other things that we could be doing? I mean, who knows? I think as long as we're all just looking out for each other and providing resources, and people are coming up with all kinds of innovative ways to support each other, which I've found to be, quite hopeful, especially in the restaurant community. That's kind of my bubble, is the restaurant industry, as far as what I see around me and everything. So, groups I follow and everything. So that's really the news that I see and that I'm aware and what's happening there. And I see a lot of help, being put out. But at the same time, it's still a global pandemic. So people are still falling to the side and people are still, not getting the help they need. And people are struggling to just even file for unemployment. It's just a lot. I mean, it just happens so fast that it just, just like a right hook out of nowhere that you just weren't expecting, right? And we're just completely phased and dazed right now. So I think just trying to be there for each other and being patient with each other. That's something I'm telling people a lot. Just be patient with everyone around you. Any comments people make, anything, businesses, you order some food, be patient, be forgiving as well. If the rice is a little cold or the empanada isn't perfectly breaded, it's okay. Let's just let things slide right now. I think we just need to be more patient and forgiving with each other. You talk to a family member who's frustrated and this and that, maybe lashes out. You got people that are holed up with, I don't know how many people in a house, and now you're stuck in a small, space. You feel like the world's ending. Maybe you're running out of money. Someone lost a job. There's all these things. Medical stuff is adding up. Resources may be tight. So it could be very easy to sort of lose your cool. So I think if you're in a position to just be patient and forgiving with everyone around you is I think the first steps, and maybe even creating art, creating content, creating things for people to enjoy to help take their minds off of things. Music, for instance, music is getting a lot of people through this. I'm sure I listen to a lot of music during the day of, just to get away from, read something and listen to music. Like that's my thing. Put on some music and read something. So, I know music for sure is it's such an escape right now that people need, Yeah.
Well, it's been a thing I've been focusing on, trying to like write down all of my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them will end up, I do keep a journal, and even if it's just a fact that I noticed, like not cool, but wow, interesting, we crossed 600,000 cases of the world, just because like, if I don't write it down, like who's to say I would remember it, a year from now, even when theoretically, hopefully we're all kind of feeling more normal. But it's hard to say because it's so, I don't know, just so crazy. But also, like, I've been trying to learn new material, like learn songs by artists that I really, really like.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, I just learned yesterday by the Beatles.
Oh, great song.
Yeah, you know what? Have you ever listened to the lyrics? They're really poignant right now.
Yes, absolutely. I actually played that song at my father's funeral. Yeah, that song is very special to me, actually. Yeah, absolutely. That song is absolutely. That's what I mean. Music it's so touching and fitting and apropos in so many instances.
Yeah,
this is one of them.
So I'm trying to like learn new material and let all of my thoughts I'm kind of in a season of, what was the word, like gestation. How do you say that? Gestation?
Gestation. Oh gosh, that's a hard word. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't use that word very often. And just like where a lot of ideas are percolating in the back of my mind, and I'm seeing and observing so much and taking in so much information, and like watching how the world is changed and is changing, and how it's affecting everyone in my circle of influence and everyone that I look up to, and our city. And there's a lot spinning around inside that I know will eventually come out in song. And so part of my creative process is making sure I'm learning the material. I just got a new electric guitar, so I'm trying to learn how to play songs on it meant for electric guitar, so that I can also be writing songs on it very soon.
That's awesome.
So it's like, that's been part of my creative process. And I don't know, I've tried to write like 10 or so Corona type theme songs, and most of them are just like stupid cheesy. But there's one that's like decent enough that I like, actually, that's kind of stuck around. So I have one little jewel so far. I don't know if it'll last past the pandemic, but it's there for now. I like it.
Hey, there you go.
Some creative things happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what needs to happen. Exactly what you're doing. I like the idea of learning some new instruments or new techniques or something along those lines, to take advantage of this time, let something good come out of it. Right.
Yeah. So I've been trying to focus on, and then also trying to like sit outside for maybe 30 minutes every morning.
Sure.
I can't spend too much time outside because unfortunately this is my allergy season.
Yeah.
Which is also weird and unfortunate because I feel like I constantly have a fever at this time of year.
Yeah.
Like I'm just always feel kind of inflamed. I don't have like actual symptoms or anything, but so it's just like kind of has you paranoid when you're always allergic. But yeah.
How are your roommates handling everything? Are they is anyone like, I don't know, bomb sheltering, like, or everyone's kind of dealing with this the same way?
One of them is kind of like MacGyver.
Yeah.
And so
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he can like build anything, do anything. Already kind of thinks in terms of like, we need to have our month's worth of food on hand.
Yeah.
And his wife, my other roommate, is like, she's an excellent, she was like a chemistry major for a while, and so she's a really excellent baker, and that's kind of therapeutic for her. So I'm trying not to eat too many baked goods. There's a lot around.
That can be hard if they're good. If they're delicious, that can be really hard.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
I'm honestly a little intimidated around her in the kitchen, and so like I haven't been in the kitchen as much, and so I know like that's something I need to do more.
Oh yeah,
like
get in there.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe people have told you that. I don't know. Like it's when you're around an expert, then suddenly, like my Italian chicken that I marinate in Italian dressing and pop in the oven just feels really like me.
You know what? The thing is, though, all chefs cook all kinds of shit, and they have cooked all kinds of shit. And I tell you what, when they get home at the end of the night, sometimes working after a long shift, they pop a hot pocket in the fucking microwave. So I promise you, no real chef is going to judge you unless you're a chef too, if that makes sense. So when they know you're just a home cook, trust me, ain't nobody. That's not how it is. In fact, they want you to ask questions. They'd want you to be curious and ask different things. They'd be happy to teach you. Nobody's going to look down on you. By no means. Again, we've all done. I've cooked all kinds of weird shit. Anything. I still like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm easy going too. I'm not. Need something fancy. I just like fresh. And I pretty much do cook every meal I eat, which is unusual, I think, for most people. But I work from home anyway. So I'm usually at home anyway, for this type of stuff. I do work from home, but, I also get to go out to coffee shops and say, I can't do that, boo-hoo for me. Can't record the podcast in the studio where we normally do, so I'm the one having to do it. That's why I have all these technical difficulties all the time, because I don't know what I'm doing. Like somebody else does that shit for me. Who knows what they're doing, right? Somebody who's an expert. I wouldn't want to get in there. But I guess I see what you're saying. Like if somebody maybe stepped up with a guitar and showed you a song, right, that they wrote, they don't know what they're doing. They probably feel intimidated around you the same way, or singing around you, right? They've never done that before. Singing around people must be intimidated in that same way. So you just think, how would you react to somebody? You'd be cool, right? You wouldn't be
kind and compassionate and like excited for them.
Yeah, you would be like, just the fact that you did it, I respect you. It takes enough, cojones just to do it, just to even attempt it. So, that's my thought on that. But yeah, get in the kitchen. Don't worry about it. Ask her for some tips on baking. I love people that can bake great. I'm not a good baker, and it's a science. It's just too perfect for me to be a good baker, because I like cooking, which is a lot of feel and passion. Yeah, sure. I like that. I'm just feeling the groove and Salt Bay in it.
To do good baking. Yeah. I'm like, what if I put a little more blah, blah, blah? Like,
I wonder how this will taste in there.
Maybe like 1 minute less in the oven. Like, I don't know.
You want to change it.
Bend the rules. Yeah, I just push against the rules sometimes.
That's funny.
Which maybe makes me a good artist. I don't know. I hope
it does. It would make you a great chef or a great cook.
I really do. Well, I also grew up in a really big family, and so I was like the oldest of 6 kids, and so I'm used to going into the kitchen, looking at all of the scraps of things we have, and just throwing a bunch of things together, and doing some kind of stir fry, or like, kind of thing, like piecing together a half decent meal with the things that are around.
Absolutely.
I like doing that. I feel accomplished, but not everybody likes that.
I love doing that too. So, it's a way to exhaust things that you have too. I'm all about just using what I have first. It's not about what do I want. What do I feel like today? That's not how I eat, honestly. I I eat based off of what I've bought and what's going bad, what's not going bad. You know, what do I need to get rid of? I also keep things tight when I purchase. So my fridge will go from full to empty and then full to empty again. So I don't, I'm kind of the same way. I like making, whatever I can find out. But I do kind of plan ahead, though. But again, I'm a food person, so it's different for me than you plan ahead for your shows, right? You know what guitar you're taking to the show and what set list and what songs you're going to play. It's the same thing a chef does, even at home. They're always planning sort of ahead of what's going on. And another thing that makes it easier to cook is set up your kitchen to cook, meaning we have a term in the industry called mise en place, which just means things in place. So you'll hear it like on Top Chef sometimes. But all that means is having, your stuff set up, right. So you want to have your pots and pans in a place where you can grab them easily, your utensils that you need, your tongs, have things available, not just spread out all over the kitchen or at the back of a cabinet. You know what I mean? You want to set up easy to cook, basically. And then you'll cook more because it's easier to clean and it's easier to cook when everything's sort of set up that way.
Right.
You'll do it more. Yeah. Once it becomes more, because I get it. It can be a total, I got to cook, I got to prep everything, then I got to clean everything for, you know what I mean? So I get it. I get why people don't want to cook, at home sometimes just for that reason. But if you do set it up that way, you'll be cooking like crazy. You'll be cooking all kinds of stuff. Plus think ahead, cook something and make it a little bit bigger and make it 3 meals or 4 meals worth or something,
Right.
I do that. I do that all the time. I mean, my roommate loves when I cook because I'm always cooking for one sucks. So it's like, hey, are you hungry? Yeah, sit down. All right, here you go. Here's something too. It makes it easier to, you got roommates. So like I said, you should all, take turns maybe or pick a course. Everyone do a course, something like that. That could be fun. So what do you plan on doing the rest of the, this lockdown, just kind of what you've been doing, or are there any other plans that you have ahead of time that you're thinking about?
Well, what do you mean? Like,
I don't know.
Or,
well, I don't know what I mean.
I'm like, not to be a doomsayer, I think this is going to last for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah. I do too.
And, I've been following the story since Reuters broke it the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
And I've been watching it just fascinated because it was kind of unlike anything I'd heard of before, and the incubation period is so long. And when the first cruise thing happened where they let everybody go and then somebody came down later, I was like, this is not contained. Like, this is going everywhere.
Yeah, that's the problem if we open too early. You're right.
Yeah, and so in hindsight, I'm so thankful that South by got canceled. Like, it was a huge blow to our city. But honestly, like, if you're reading anything about New Orleans, like Mardi Gras went on, and like they are like skyrocketing in cases right now. I think they're over 3,000 right now. Yeah,
they blew up
in just their city alone in the last 2 days. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be Austin right now if we hadn't canceled that. And so I don't know. I'm just
You're right. I agree.
I'm just trying to trying to be satisfied and grateful and enjoy the place where I'm living, like the house that I'm living in, sitting outside, the music I'm listening to. I'm getting to know my technical equipment better. Like, I have an interface for my computer and recording equipment.
Yeah.
And I've literally never used it until this week. And so I'm like, finally, like, I don't have super fancy equipment. I just have GarageBand. But you know what? I have GarageBand and I can learn how to use it and get better with tracking. And so I'm just trying to like use what I have and get good at what I have access to. And I am doing some musical things for money. I'm just not advertising it because, again, I don't want to if there's someone else that needs people's money more, like I want to make sure they get what they the job that they need.
Yeah.
But if people are curious about how to help out musicians during this time,
yes, that's what we want to hear. Yes,
there are, for sure. We've already talked about live streaming. Like, I think most musicians have found a way, or some people have a weekly schedule.
And they just put up like a Venmo or a PayPal, right? Like their handle or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just play, and you can literally just send it to them, right? I mean, it's that simple. There's no paperwork. There's right? There's just a simple tipping system.
Yeah, some people, like some larger artists, if you like, I'm trying to think of one. Like David Ramirez did one, and he had some kind of like
tickets, right? I saw. Yeah. I don't like that.
I thought that was interesting. I don't know how that works exactly, but
I guess maybe if you're a bigger artist, you kind of have to.
Yeah. So there are different things. It depends on who you want to see. But
sure,
if there's a local artist that you know about that you're curious about, follow. Like, a free thing to do is to like and follow everything they do. If they've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, gosh, what else? What am I on? Twitter?
Twitter.
I'm trying to think. Bandcamp. All of the things, like any channel that they have, their website, like, you should look them up, go like, follow, subscribe to everything they do, because when this is over, like, booking people really do look at your numbers. So if you like them, like, now's the time to show that. And like, if somebody is on, especially on Instagram and Facebook, if an artist puts out something that you like, a huge thing that's helpful is for you to go and comment on that post. Comment with at least 4 words. Especially if it's positive. Like, man, I really love this song. It didn't have to be much. That can be it, with an exclamation point. Like, when Facebook and Instagram and their algorithms, like, they're designed to suppress our posts, and they want us to pay for our followers to see those posts. But if people actually like and comment on it, and the post shows that it's a higher engaging post, Facebook and Instagram are more likely to show that to people who actually follow us. It's weird and twisted.
Oh, I
see. It'd be super cool if their algorithms were different right now, because that would really help out artists.
For sure.
And then another thing is, if you like if I'm trying to put out some covers and like songs that I'm doing and stuff, if you see an artist has put out a video or a post and you like it, sharing that post to your Facebook page or your Instagram story, like, your word of mouth means so much, and it goes further than my dollars into Facebook advertising.
Yeah.
Like, it goes so much further.
Yeah.
Because that's an organic thing, and it's free. Like, it doesn't cost you anything technically to do that.
That's true.
The value, the dollar value of that action is so much. I would get more value from that when you just sharing one of my posts than if I paid Facebook $15 to share that. Maybe 600 people will see it, but they don't care about me. They don't know who I am. But if you recommend me, they might listen if they're your friend, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just like, that's free. That's something that you can do to support artists. If we're on top of our game, we're going to have all of our websites and social media platforms linked to each other. So it should be easy to jump between the two and find them all.
Yeah.
And I made a list of a couple of things that are helpful. If you actually have money that you have that maybe you're saving because you're not going out and tipping artists live.
Yeah.
A lot of artists have Bandcamp or a Patreon page or Venmo. And so, like, I have all of those things, but Bandcamp, you can digitally download music. If you've never bought their music digitally, you can do that. That's a one-time purchase. You can buy merch from them.
Merch,
I guess Kickstarter, the things some artists are doing. And actually, Kickstarter might be helpful, because if an artist has an album in the works and you go and you fund it, like, put $50 in or whatever, and maybe with each tier you get a different gift, like maybe you get your name on the album cover or something. That money, when that album gets made, that money gets distributed to the studio and the session players. And a lot of those guys are kind of overlooked right now, I feel like. And so, like, funding a Kickstarter is actually a great way to put money back into the entire music system.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing a thing like a MusicGrams program, like, where you pay me and I record a personal message on your behalf and a song, and I send it to your friend for like $50.
I see.
So, like, that's
like
a one-time thing. yeah, it's super cool. Spreads the cheer. Someone gets like a link to a video in their email, and it's like, oh, hey, your friend Chris is thinking about you and wanted me to send you this song, or like, oh, hey, Jenna just wants you to know that she's thinking about you, and whatever. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, and so that's been really cool. I sent a couple of messages to, someone's friends in Europe.
Yeah.
And I'm also able to add my own message too, like, hey, we're thinking about you guys, and we're all going to get through this together, and we'll see you on the other side soon. So
sure.
I don't know, just like that's been really cool.
That's great. Yeah, those are great. Those are all great, great resources, great ways to help the industry, help artists.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other things. You might be able to come up with things that you want from an artist that you could pay for. Like if you want, like it might not be on their Bandcamp as an option, but you're like, hey, I'll pay you, $50 or $100 for you to write out a sheet of your lyrics. I don't know.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, like you could, if you're like, hey, I want to create this thing. Could you do this for me? And then I'll pay you XYZ. Like,
yeah.
If there's something that you would actually like that they don't offer yet, like I'm sure that they might have the time and resources to make that for you.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I like that. Just a different way to, just a different service to offer, your fans as an artist, right? To give them your content. But yeah, that's a very creative way. I like the idea of writing out a page of your lyrics, in their handwriting, something cool, something personalized. That's really cool. Actually, that's a good idea. But yeah, checking out artists, I guess just finding the artists you like and supporting them. Like you said, follow them, like them. The Kickstarter, that's good. Do bands or artists do GoFundMes, or is that not a thing?
I think so.
I guess it's worth seeing. If you see a band put it up, check it out, I guess, right?
Yeah. I feel like GoFundMe, it's a specific amount people are raising.
I see.
And I feel like Kickstarter is the same thing. Like a Patreon or a Venmo, like there's not an amount they're trying to raise. It's just like, it goes directly to them.
Got it.
So I do know
Patreon's
Patreon's good. It does take money off the top of each transaction, but Venmo doesn't. But Patreon, you do usually get access to material that not everybody else gets access to.
Yeah.
For me and mine, the only material I've been pumping out regularly is these live shows. Like I go back and record them later and then post them privately to YouTube, and so all my patrons have access to those.
Got it.
But because Instagram deletes it after 24 hours, and I haven't been able to. Yeah, I haven't been able to find a way to recover those after they're gone.
Oh.
So that's why I'm trying really hard to go back.
Like when you put them in stories, or where?
So when you go live.
When you go live.
Story, yeah. I haven't figured out a way, but I made this is where I just don't know technology.
I don't. Well. Yeah, no. I'm the worst person to. I don't even know why I asked. I don't even know why I inquired. Like I was going to have an answer because I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just heard about TikTok a couple days ago, so I'm learning about new
that's
things.
A rabbit hole. You can get lost in TikTok.
I started. I opened it, but I'm a little scared to jump in there. I don't know.
You know what though? You and actually you may already be doing this, but you probably could do, I'd probably watch your kitchen tips, if you recorded short video bursts of things that you're doing for recommending.
That would be interesting. Yeah, a little kitchen is that TikTok's like little short videos, right? That's the whole point of it. There's no pictures, right? There's no photos.
Right. Well, I don't think so. So, especially if you're doing something that's funny, that goes everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Even if do you have a YouTube page for what you do?
I have a YouTube page, but I haven't put anything up in quite a while, to be honest, because all this stuff goes on a different YouTube page. Doesn't go on mine.
Right.
So
that could be because, you're an expert, and so, sharing
well,
some
let's
of your
not
tips
get crazy here.
Favorite.
I'm
just saying, some of your, even if it's some of your best quarantine meals,
sure.
People might be searching for that,
That's true. That's a good point.
even like what you've been telling me, you know, like, yeah, a salad's like the best thing right now. Like 15 best salads or something. I don't know. Just like,
there are some things actually on our website on Texas Real Food. We've actually been putting up a lot of news articles, you know, healthy recipes to have during quarantine, activities for the kids, recipes for the kids, you know, things like that. Just not me personally doing it, but I like the idea of maybe some little kitchen tips, quick little videos of different things to do. I've been telling people about this trick that I learned in Europe where I lived. It's not really a trick. I guess it's a trick here, but not in the rest of the world. To use bleach in water diluted to clean your vegetables. So people are a little freaked out by that here because I guess they've never heard of it, but it's absolutely a practice to do, and it's a very good way, especially right now with the virus and everybody's concerned about it. I absolutely recommend it. If you just Google search, it'll tell you the exact amount because you do have to be careful with that. So I would definitely Google search before you do it, but you just dilute a little bit of bleach in water and you can, you know, get your vegetables cleaned in there and they'll be very much sanitized and ready to eat.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's a healthy way. There's nothing wrong with it. Actually, your bleach bottle may say it on there, actually. If most people never read a bleach bottle, but it might say it on there. Some of the more name brands will put it on there. I know the ones in Europe did. It would have it on there. I just learned it from people that I was living with. You know, at first I thought it was crazy, but then they use bleach for everything. So bleach is actually very interesting. You can use it for so many different things. You can use it to even clean your plants and stuff with. You know, little bit of same thing. Dilute it in water. Get it on a little rag. And you're wiping leaves, you know, there's so many. Yeah. Again, it's a good way to even disinfect. I mean, I'm using rubbing alcohol for my hands, not even hand sanitizer. One, I couldn't even get any hand sanitizer because it's sold out everywhere. But I did have a lot of rubbing alcohol and that seems to work a lot better. And I've been putting rosemary in it to just give it a nice scent because I'm using it so much. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
You know, helps because I'm using it all the time, you know, even squirting it on my roommate, just, you know, hey, you need to be, we all need to be sanitized here. You know, it's just such a crazy time, right? Like every day I wake up just like, what the hell? Because it seems normal at the same time. I'm getting my coffee, I'm playing with my dogs, I'm looking out my backyard. And it just so happens outside of this, the world is on standstill. And it's just a crazy feeling. You know. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been nuts. Well, look, Natalie, I really appreciate you know, you taking time to talk to me today. And you know, is there anything else before we go here that you wanted to mention or bring up? What's your website? Is it just natalieprice.com?
It's natpricemusic.com.
Got it. natpricemusic.com. N-A-T. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great, cool. And, you know, online, I'm sure, you know, on social media, people can find you the same way.
Yeah, Nat Price Music, everything.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, I tried really hard to get the same and everything. So, yeah, if anybody, like, if people want to get their minds off whatever's happening, like, I'll usually have a guest on every night at 10 p.m.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome to join.
You let me know. I'm happy to not talk about the virus. You know, we've pivoted the podcast to highlight the virus, but in a good way. So I'm trying to just everybody that I bring on, I'm just the same way I talk to you. I'm talking to every chefs and tech people and you know, marketing, business owner, you know, just all kinds of different people who are just dealing with this and what they're doing. But we are talking about the virus. You know, but I'm also trying to provide resources. So everyone I talk to is doing the same thing. Like, okay, this is how you support our industry. Okay, this is how you support our industry. You know, so I'm hoping that they help in a way. You know, you can also hear that people are, you're not going through it alone. It's tough times. But to be honest, you know what, Natalie, everybody's been so positive that I've talked to, even though they tell me the craziest stories, you know, of what happened to them or how much money they lost or how many clients or their businesses going under or whatever it may be. You know, or this one guy I talked to, he's stuck here from Germany with his family and can't get back. So it's just like, but at the same time, he was so positive, and people are so hopeful, and people are it made me honestly very, very hopeful myself. It made me think, we're going to be fine. We're going to be able to get through this. We all stick together. We just stick together. I think that's the key. Stick together. Right. Stick together. So anyway, yes, thank you so much for coming on.
Having me.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate your desire to like really get at how is this affecting people in all places. Like that's really cool to me.
Absolutely. That's what I want to do. Highlight people that are exactly what you said. So, well, thank you again. And you let me know. I'm happy to come on and I love talking about movies. I love talking about food. Music. I love talking about music too. I don't know a lot of, artists and things, but I love talking about music, for sure.
Absolutely. Okay.
So
I'll reach out after this.
Absolutely. Of course. Okay, Natalie, well, enjoy the rest of your day today. Stay safe, stay clean, wash those hands.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Talk to you soon. All right. That was Natalie. Good talking to her. Sounds like she's got another, positive, hopeful outlook on things. And, definitely check out her live stream, guys. She does every night at 10. Again, take your mind off the virus. Great idea. Love it. And check out her website, Nat Price Music. And as always, check us out at thelonestarplate.com for the rest of these episodes. Again, we'll be releasing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays new episodes. So just stay with us. We'll keep you updated on the virus and different, just testimonials from people that are going through this and different resources for different industries. So subscribe, like, leave us a good review if you like. And again, thank you for being so patient with, the new setup and everything we got to do. We got to quarantine. So I'm just at the house. This is a little mock studio I put together. So appreciate everybody's patience with that. And also, if you have any questions about the virus or the podcast or for me to ask people, you're curious about something, email me, patrick@texasrealfood.com. And I'm happy to, answer that, read it out on the podcast or whatever it may be. So any questions, concerns, suggestions, let me know. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and listening. And we will see you next time on the Lone Star Plate podcast.